Hello, everyone. Today's topic is about should art and theater be required in school? So just imagine walking into school with no paintings on the walls, no music echoes through the halls, and no plays bringing stories to life. Every class is just math, science, English, and tests. It sounds dull, right? That's why many schools are becoming places that focus only on grades instead of creativity. Art and theater bring life, imagination, and self expression into learning. Without them, students miss out on something truly important: the chance to express who they are. So, art and theater should be required in schools because they don't just make students more creative, they make them better learners and better people. According to the National Endowment for Arts, students involved in art are 4 times more likely to be recognized for academic achievements and, and 3 times more likely to win awards for school attendance. Art and theater help students engage in their minds and emotion in a way that regular classes can't. When you paint a picture in an act or write a script, you're learning how to think, plan, and communicate. Skills that carry over into every subject. But sadly, many schools have cut art and theater programs because of budget issues or the focus on standardized tests. In fact, a study by the U.S. Department of Education found that over 80% of math and reading schools have reduced the education since the early 2000s. The goal was to spend more time on math and reading, but this decision came with a cost. Without creative outlets, students often feel bored, stressed, and disconnected from school. It's like asking someone to run a marathon but never letting them stretch. You're missing a key part of what keeps them balanced and motivated. So, art and theater don't just improve academics, they build confidence and teach teamwork. For example, when a student performs in a school play, they learn how to speak clearly, stay calm under pressure, and work closely with others. These are the same skills you need in college, in super shy and job reviews, even in everyday life. I remember in high school, one of my classmates was shy and barely spoke in class, but after joining the drama club, she became one of the most confident I knew. She said that theater helped her find her voice, and the confidence carried into every part of her life. She became confident everywhere and knowing how to talk anywhere. Not everyone's like that. Another benefit of art and theater is emotional expression. Not every student can explain how they feel in other words, but they can express through painting, acting, or writing. These classes give students a healthy outlet for their emotions, helping them reduce stress and anxiety. Studies show that creative activities lower cortisol levels, the hormone linked to stress. In other words, art isn't just fun, it's good for your mental health and reduces stress. It's also important to understand that art and theater help build empathy. When you act in a play, you're putting yourself in someone's shoes. You experience their emotions and struggles, which helps you understand people's better in real life. That kind of empathy is what makes strong communities and good leaders. In world where people often divided, art brings people together through shared stories and emotions. Now I understand some people say school doesn't have enough time or money for art programs, but cutting these programs actually hurt education more in the long run. Art and theater make learning more effective. According to the research from the Arts Education Partnerships, students involved in arts score higher on standard tests and are more likely to graduate. So instead of thinking art as a waste of time and a waste of money, schools should see it as a smart investment. as education is gonna get better and gonna get smarter. The solution is simple. Art and theater should be required in schools for every student, just like math or science. These programs give students a well-rounded education and prepare them for real life, not just tests. They teach communication, problem solving, and emotion intelligence, which skills that employers actually look for. Plus, they make school more enjoyable. When students look forward to art classes or performers, they're more motivated to show up and learn in other subjects. So think about it, without art and theater, we wouldn't have music, movies, designs, or even inspiring speeches. Creativity is what pushes the world forward. Every invention, business idea, or movement starts with someone thinking creatively. That's why schools must protect and prioritize these subjects. They're not just extras, they're essentials and more important than even other subjects. In conclusion, art and theater should be absolutely required in schools because they help a student grow in every way, academically, emotionally, and socially. First, I talked about how art improves learning and test scores. Then I explained how it builds confidence and emotional expression. Finally, I showed how creative programs prepare for students for real life success. My thesis is simple. Schools without art and theater are incomplete. Education should just fill students' mind. It should inspire their hearts. Thank you.